But y'all had bad blood for a while.
Real bad.
Real bad blood.
The worst blood.
There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams. And she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle.
Wendy Williams has been involved in the rap scene for years now, acting nosy and getting to the bottom of salacious rumors. For all this time, she's been calling out Diddy. We're gonna go through everything she's ever said about him, so let's get into it. Fans have been begging for Wendy Williams to return ever since Diddy's been arrested because she's one of the only celebrities who's been outspoken about him. Wendy has been calling out Diddy's behavior for a long time, at one point risking her own career. Now, I don't think Wendy knew to the extent what Diddy was doing, but she heard rumors. And while I do think she shared what she could about what she heard, I do think she got probably a lot of intel from the industry and would hear these things and kind of build her own perception of Diddy, and sometimes that would come out in her coverage. This person tweeted, Wendy Williams has been exposing Puff and others regarding their foul play when she was on radio. He even tried to get Total before they blew up to jump her, which is a girl group that Diddy assigned to go and beat up Wendy Williams after her job on the radio because she was speaking about Diddy on air. Let me take you guys back to 1994. Wendy was working for New York City Hot 97 Radio. At the time, Diddy's label Bad Boy Records was sending a lot of music over to this radio station to play. Granted, they are hip-hop, it's a hip-hop radio, it makes sense. During an episode of the Wendy Williams Experience that aired in 2009, Wendy recounted a time when Diddy allegedly instructed members of Total, again, this female R&B trio, to fight her when she worked at Hot 97. She said them Total bitches were downstairs and everybody upstairs at the radio station was looking down, egging it on, which is pretty scary because her colleagues wanted to see her get beat up. Like I said, Wendy has told this story before, so let's hear her talk about it in her own words.
I remember I got off the air one day and them Total bitches were downstairs waiting, and everybody upstairs at the radio station is looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. I didn't get a chance to hit the sidewalk, you know what I'm saying? Before I knew it, out of nowhere, nobody called. It's not even like he knew. It was just weird, almost like karma. Next thing I know, he's out of the car, and there's a whole bunch of rah-rah going on outside, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And I send Cower and Skell out on the sidewalk, and he comes back in and says, "It's Total outside," and they were about to set it on you.
Now, Kirk Burroughs was the president of Bad Boy Records, and he even commented on Wendy's impact in this feud between the record labels and the damage that she done. In 2022, Kirk detailed the East Coast-West Coast feud between Bad Boy and Death Row Records, how this was a big part of the 90s and Wendy was involved. Kirk claimed that Diddy's infant son and the boy's mother, Misa Hilton, were paid to take a picture with Diddy's rival, Suge Knight, which I'm finally saying his name right, it's Suge. I get it now. He says it got back to the East that Misa was there in the office and that Suge was meeting Justin Combs and possibly holding him in his arms, and that there was a photograph of them taking a picture together. Now, this is where Wendy gets in. Keep in mind there's this feud between Bad Boy and Death Row Records. It got back to the East that Misa, so Diddy's baby mama, was there in the office and that Suge was meeting Justin Combs and possibly holding him in his arms, and that there was this photographer there taking a picture. That wasn't the picture we needed to see on our end or we wanted the world to see at all. But guess who got their hands on this picture of this man holding Diddy's baby? Well, Wendy Williams did. Wendy got the photo and announced that she had big news coming up on her radio station. The Bad Boy team had to intervene and prevent the photo from spreading to the public. And essentially, Diddy was able to use this scandal to get Wendy fired by leveraging the radio station, saying that we're not going to give you any more music if you keep her on. Now, when Wendy was a radio personality in 1998, she suggested that Diddy may be gay. This was pretty much the last straw for Diddy. He wanted to get rid of her. Wendy suggested on air that she got a photo of Diddy engaging in some intimate activity with other men. During an Art of the Dialogue interview in 2022, Diddy's former bodyguard Gene Deal said that Diddy got Wendy fired from her job at Hot 97 before she could even address the photo on air because he already knew that she had it. He said that Diddy had a lot of power in New York City, especially when it came to the radio station. So if he knew that this photo was going to be her hot topic of the the day, then he's going to end it. He said that if they didn't get rid of her before he got back to New York, that they were not going to get any music from him or any of his friends or any record labels that he's cool with.
Puff got one of the hottest DJs off of Hot 97 because she wanted to put up a picture of him getting his pants pulled down. You understand what I'm saying? Puff had power.
He goes on to share that once they were back from their trip, Wendy was out of there and she was going to be on a radio station in Philly, pretty much having to escape the city because she threatened to show this photo of Diddy, which if she had this photo and she threatened this, it must have been very real because he wouldn't have had this kind of reaction if it was fake news. You guys know what I'm saying?
She got fired from Hot 97 because she had a picture of Puffy and she was saying on air that she was going to reveal the picture.
We were in Cancun and we were on our way to the Island of Women. For whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff. He went behind him and grabbed his trunks and pulled them down. When he grabbed his trunk to pull them down, some girls was taking pictures. They took that picture and emailed it back to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said she had him in a compromising position and like it was gay something like that. She was going to put it out. Wendy had shown people that email. Puff told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her before he got back in New York, that they was not going to get any music from any of his friends, any of the record labels executives that was cool with him. Everybody was going to boycott their station. We was out in LA for about 3 days before we landed back in New York. Wendy Williams was in the radio station in Philly. She was fired.
Wendy's been quoted saying, there was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. Now, it's all come full circle. There were many situations back in my career, and it's all coming back full circle.
There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were lots of homosexuals in hip hop back in the 80s too. You know, what's worse? You know, hip hop wearing skirts or hip hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, you know, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny, which is your sexuality.
Wendy's always been a workaholic, which is why it's so weird to see her off air because we know that she would be working if she could. Despite this, her getting her career taken away back then, that was detrimental. And it's something that she's kind of held back about speaking about until much later in her career.
But y'all had bad blood for a while.
Real bad.
Real bad blood.
The worst blood.
The worst blood. You almost he wanted to run you out of New York at one point, right?
Run?
Well, not run, you know, like push you out of New York at one point. Oh, he had you ran out. You give him full credit for that? Okay, cool. He had you ran out of New York.
Wendy Williams is undoubtedly a tough person, so to have her run out of New York is big. But what feels most significant in light of recent revelations was the moment that Wendy speculated on her TV show in 2015 that Diddy may have had controlling behavior after he split with Cassie. She essentially goes on to say this in a vague and kind of nice way, but really allude to the fact that she believed that Cassie was under full control to the point where he's got people monitoring her, and that's pretty much their career, is to monitor her and report back. Let's take a look at this throwback clip of the Wendy Williams show.
Cassie's in South Africa filming Honey 3, and she allegedly has been avoiding Puffy. And you know, my thing about when you date a mogul is that it's really difficult to avoid them, because if you use your head, you never know when they're going to pop up on the scene. Like, he's mogul, like he can hire a plane right now, zoom it to South Africa, land on the roof.
Which is so scary to think that, like, when you are dating someone that rich, they could be like 10 steps ahead of you, even if you are the smartest person.
Of the hotel where she's staying, okay? Pay people off at the front desk, give me the key and let me up in her room. Like,
that's so true, because he paid people off to go and hide that footage.
I'm already paranoid as a person. But to know that somebody could actually swoop down on me in the middle of nothing would scare the bejesus out of me.
Again, super creepy that she even alluded to Diddy paying off hotels, because we know for an absolute fact that he paid off a hotel for that footage of Cassie. Wendy's even confronted Diddy before, saying that she doesn't believe he would ever want to settle down with a woman because he is a party boy. She said he'll pick a woman and settle down, but right now I don't think he will. I think he's leading this playboy lifestyle, and when he's got these women in his life, he's got them hypnotized. Oh, not the hypnotized. Oh, it's giving drugged. It's really giving drugged. Wendy and Diddy had their moment on the show when he appeared. Wendy said, "I know I pissed a lot of people off, including you, but this is a full circle moment." And I wonder where Wendy was mentally, because I wonder if she's kind of accepting that this guy is not going anywhere. He's pretty much the devil. Like, just make peace with him and continue your show, because he's never falling. Diddy admits that he was nervous to come onto the show, but Wendy proceeded to then toss Diddy a number of softball questions, mainly about his children and charity work. Honestly, she didn't press him on any of the things that she's heard over the years, which I do wish she took that moment, but I think it was kind of a dangerous moment for her to go and push him too.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I must say it's been a long time coming, and I want to just tell you how proud I am of you.
So awkward, in my opinion. I mean, I know he's looking at her, but he like only looks at her for a few seconds. He's like looking at her and looking away. I just feel like he is giving, if there are celebrities that are serpents, it's him, because I don't know how anyone can do what he does and have no morality.
I know I pissed a lot of people off, including you, but this is a full circle moment, everybody.
Yes.
Get into adult conversation.
I mean, maybe Wendy was under the impression that he had grown up and changed. But again, I don't think she knew to the extent how bad he was. Despite having him on her show, he was going to continue being a hot topic. And she actually commented on an on and off again stint with Cassie, addressing the breakup on air in 2018, claiming that Cassie wasted her time with a man that was 17 years older than her. Okay. Roughly a week after the split was announced, Diddy took to social media in an attempt to win Cassie back, which is so pathetic, and like it shows that he was like clearly abusive, because he's over here trying to reach out to this woman, and the only way he could do it is through his millions of followers. Wendy said if you really care, then you'd reach out privately, not publicly, and if there's a reason why you cannot reach out privately, maybe respect that.
Puffy wants Cassie back. Oh, it's been all over social media. Puffy posted a picture of Michael Jackson's song Lady in My Life and wrote, "If anyone sees Cassie this weekend, please tell her to listen to this song 100 times. I suggest don't use social
Wait, it's too, look at his face. Wait, he's even like, wait, too real.
media, though, to reach out. I think this was a grand overture from Puffy. I don't believe he really wants her back. I believe he probably treated her at some particular point like a possession. If you really care, then you'd reach out privately, not publicly."
While we don't have the Wendy Williams show to enjoy every day like I used to, she has commented on this situation with the headline reading, "Wendy Williams breaks silence on Diddy. It's just so horrible." Now, to give you guys some context, this is a very brief statement. I wish we had more. She said to see this video on TV of Cassie getting pummeled, it was horrific. But women, it's just so horrible. For her own part, Wendy said she's doing good. The host and actress was spotted out and about in August, her first time since going away and being locked in a facility. In my opinion, against her will. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I've always been a fan of Wendy Williams, and it looks like history's playing out in an interesting way. Though I do have a conspiracy that the what is it called? The crow that she ate, that bird she ate on camera, cursed her. I have a video about that, and I stick kind of true to that. I feel like she ate this crow because she made this bet about Kim and Kanye divorcing, and it ultimately cursed her. But that's my own little personal conspiracy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.